So thank you guys all for coming. We decided that if we were coming to Washington, D.C., the only music that we should be talking about is go-go music. And we brought Big G, Lil Chris, and Kacey because they are obviously a part of that movement and know the most about it. And we were hoping that they could educate us as much as you guys. And later on, we'll allow you guys to ask some questions and kind of talk about, ask them anything you want to ask them or us. And we should just kind of dive in and ask, what is the history of it? Where do you see it going? What are the problems that, have kind of capped it as a genre where it hasn't really spread internationally, but the music itself is probably, if you really think about it, is recognizable in so many songs. It influenced so much music. I wonder why the genre itself hasn't really taken off. I don't know if any of you kind of want to speak to that initially.
OG first. Well, basically, why I think it hasn't taken off, back in the 90s when you had the go-go swing, when you had different hip-hop artists had influenced music in their music, like Salt and Pepper had Junkyard influence, put sardine, the beat in it. And different artists different like Heavy D, they had different pieces of go-go beats in there. LL with the Rollertones, with Rock the Bells. So things of that nature. And then Chuck, EU, Trouble Funk, all those guys went overseas, over to Europe and different parts like that, and go-go was huge. And I think go-go artists kind of were selfish at some point where one want to be bigger than the other and didn't want to really capture that thing and say, hey, let's all eat as a big plate and go on tour and have this fun and make this money. And I think they kind of missed that time. And bands like Junkyard, because they was older, Junkyard was signed to Def Jam as kids. And I was a fan of Junkyard as a little kid, running around, going down 19th and M, not too far from here, watching them and get in trouble, riding on my bike and get a butt whooping just to go see them play down by the White House and things of that nature. But we always had great music here, good producers, Rich, Chucky, all those guys. And I just think that different parts and different people will go in their separate ways. Because okay, we're not going on tour, we just want to get this out. We want to do this. We had dope songs, man, dope music. I watched right out my window on 14th and Urban Street, all the bands used to play every Saturday. Master Extension, Reds and the Boys. All the bands used to play right there for free. Wow. And you could just see it, and I knew that's what I wanted to do. But I think the music is still here, and with young guys like Chris and Kacey, we still keep our music together. We performed in, remember the first time we performed at Tipitina's in New Orleans. And it was Tremaine versus The Wire. And had all the cast members on stage, and when the first time those people heard A Pocket, wow, everybody said, whoa! The air came out the building. Wow. And with the acoustics in that building, it was crazy. So I think it's just getting with different artists, when we perform with Scarface and different artists and they come up, Devin the Dude, we put those shows on. Kacey, she be up there by herself, it's different elements. Chris, we different, the older guys, we kind of learned from them, but we kind of grabbed it and kept it going. But it's just crazy, but I think we kind of missed it because it was the artists is just being selfish, not just being together saying, hey, we're gonna put this together and we're gonna go, because we were making money on the fly. And it's you make those albums, and I'm damn, but we went 69 on the Billboard chart and I ain't even getting no money. I'm oh, what happened? And it was just a lot of we're gonna keep this right here, just to us, you got a good sandwich and you don't want everybody to taste it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's my touch on it is so much more, but I don't want to take the whole time.
You don't even understand, just, first of all, being here, hearing your perspective on it, I just literally went in time with you. Everywhere you went, my mind pictured all those things.
Yeah.
And having it narrated with not only your insight, but your accent. I just can't tell you. Like that was like a little, like that was like a documentary for me just now.
Great.
Like I love this city so much.
Yeah, we love you too.
It has given me, like, you know, I was inspired when we did Hot in Here. I was inspired by Chuck Brown's Bustin' Loose.
Chuck Brown.
And that's obvious. But just as you said, like LL's Rock the Bells, like pretty much the beginning, not even pretty much, the beginning of like hip hop records, there was always elements of go-go.
Yeah, that's swing.
Always elements.
That's swing.
I mean, like, These Are the Breaks.
These are,
Like Curtis Blow.
Curtis
like,
Blow.
And by the way, honestly, you know, I don't know, the record might be like 40 something years old or whatever. That record goes right now.
Yeah,
That
beat.
it's like, it's crazy to me the way that you guys have been in there. And then like I remember loving like Teddy Sound, New Jack Swing. And we were just having a conversation. He was all just sped up go-go. And I was like, what? I'm like, man, it's still in there. And so much of that had influenced the way that like R&B was swinging in the late 80s and in the 90s. And so to hear it from you, like, that was, I just want you to understand, that was, it's an honor. You guys are like titans to me. Like because you just said the pocket.
The pocket.
And these are DC people in here or no? So you're not gonna really feel it the way I'm feeling it. Cause it's just, you know, it's like talking to a fish about water. Like, you're like, yeah, but the pocket, man.
It drops.
The ability to, you know, go-go music for me is like a musical. You can go see a musical for the first time, and whether you like the music or not, you'll clap at the end because there's some fundamental, immutable laws in how to make a musical. There's all these things that every musical does. And I won't go into it because it's a lot of it. But go-go has that same effect and feeling. You can hear it for the first time and be with it. And you've never heard the record before ever in your life. And it's not always like that. Like, you could play a trap record and like 50% of the time you're gonna like it, but then 50% of the time it's ass. Like it happens all the time in all kind of, you can't name another genre. Okay, maybe salsa music that works, and maybe jazz, but the way that it works with go-go music, where a person just looks and goes, what am I listening to? And the percussion is just so like mesmerizing.
Unique. But it's also innate. Like, you can't deny it.
Yeah.
Because it is ingrained, like, the culture is so ingrained and it comes from such a deep culture. Like, Africa is there.
Yes.
It's there. And you can't deny it because it's in your blood.
It's in your
Like,
DNA.
I feel like it's in my blood when I hear it.
crazy,
Like,
bro.
I cannot, you cannot not move. You cannot not feel when you hear it.
That's how you perform too.
And it's not like it's not like experiencing it live.
Oh my God.
like-
If you
No,
experience
and
it
that's, and I
live,
think that, and I think that's where it
Something
comes.
about it.
I think that's where the disconnect comes because it's important that the live aspect
The
of
live
it is
is-
important.
yeah.
So, and to be inside of the culture, you have to be in the building.
Yeah.
To
understand
see the
go-go.
band, to
Yeah.
see the energy, you
I
know,
like it.
and feel it all around you.
Yeah.
So I think it's hard sometimes for us to
Let somebody hear it.
translate that
What?
on a record.
Yeah. That's what me and G was talking about before, right? From Norfolk, Virginia, we down the street, so we love go-go. Go-go was like, we grew up on it basically.
Period.
But we would, our taste of it was the DJ playing it.
Yep.
So we knew we had like go-go sets. You had a reggae set, go-go set. So when go-go set come, most of the people from DC hit the floor. We come acting like we know, but we rocking with it. But you remember when we went to that spot, right, bro? We went, yes,
TCB.
yes, man.
Lord have
Oh, you saw
mercy.
TCB.
Let me tell you something.
Listen to me. He gotta
I
tell you,
could
like,
have.
this was another
Listen,
level, yo.
I had never heard this song before, but this is my point. Right. So the beat's like dun 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 dun.
Downbeat.
Hello. Dun, 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 dun. I always like shorty. I'm loving that part, right? I'm like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
When he said bait,
They threw the
Babe.
rods out, yo.
I was like, I
Yes.
could have cried. No, seriously.
It was
I was
crazy.
emotional.
Yeah.
I was like,
That
man,
live feeling.
it should not feel this good. Like, babe,
Yeah.
babe,
Yeah.
babe, who's on my line? Who's on my line? I gotta do. I like,
That's that live.
What?
That's feeling
You gotta
it.
experience
the
it. You gotta
live.
experience
It's
it.
important.
You not gonna you can't just listen to go-go. You gotta experience it. It's like you gotta go to
see
the
it.
go-go.
It's unexplainable.
It's a difference from listening to go-go and experiencing go-go. You
Yeah.
gotta go experience the live, the people.
That's what keep it. That saved my life, man.
Yeah.
listen, I listen. I'm telling you, I get overwhelmed. I wanted to cry. Listen, no gas. I wanted to cry. It felt that good. I was like, I was looking at him in disbelief, like, what the? Why are you hearing this?
Yeah.
And listen, they just do this in their sleep.
Hey,
And it's
remember
so
that? Remember what I was telling him that was crazy? Like, we was on the stage right beside the percussions, right? And then dude would just stop. But everything was still going. It was so crazy. Man, you was losing it. But he would stop and talk to us for a little while and then go, he was like, yo, me and him lost it.
That's how
We
that.
lost
Man.
it.
That's
Yeah.
seeing it live. Like when
It was
we was at
another
the
level.
bowling alley when Push saw us, he was like,
Yeah, he was in the back of the he was looking like,
he hit
Man,
me. He hit me from there because he knew
FaceTime you.
I was gonna be emotional.
yeah. So he FaceTime you, and you was like, and he was like, bro, this shit is crazy.
You can't explain it.
So it just be like another level, man. It's just a blessing, like to be able to have people. Like I always tell people, like I go everywhere. I was telling a few of my buddies in Seattle, I was like, y'all gotta come and see it.
Gotcha.
So I gave them the music when I went back out filming. They was like, I want to see it on YouTube.
they don't understand.
So they pulled it up, was like this. Man, we gotta see this live.
Yes, yeah.
You gotta play on the boat. You gotta play out here. We gotta get a show. So it's like once they see it, but I tell them it's different from YouTube, them smelling it.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
all that.
There needs to be, you know what's interesting, what you just said is so cool too. You were like, first of all, I'm so grateful to be in this room, by the way. I'm just gonna say that again. Shit.
We're grateful.
We grateful to be amongst you
Nah,
right
y'all
now.
don't understand.
Feelings
Y'all-
mutual.
I'm in here with teachers. You just said that like they didn't put their, minds together and really see the bigger picture and say, let's just go on the road together and get this money.
Yeah.
That should happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That should happen.
We was talking about that when we-
Yeah.
like the thing is here's the thing where it starts to get realistic with the logistics. So like in each band is like maybe 15 members, right?
Exactly.
Facts.
So how do you tour that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
exactly.
Some people gotta stay home.
Some people gotta stay home.
To be honest, I'm saying like you have to have those elements. You know what I mean? And some people just have to understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're going out to make us better.
Yeah.
It's that, like
So what do you think you could get it down to? Because I'm like thinking like a crazy man right now, like trying to put this together.
Man, we
for real.
gotta get it. We have to get it down to who makes it better.
Yeah.
Like
If
say
what-
like we have to have the drums,
Not to say
congos. We're gonna have to break it down to like 07.
7?
I say 8.
See, that's 8. Like that's
Yeah.
doable.
8, man.
Yeah.
That's doable. I mean, and when you go to I'm just asking this question because I'm gonna go like for real, have a real live conversation, and just send it y'all's way, and whatever y'all do with it, you do with it. But so when y'all like when you go to like a club, what is somebody paying to get in?
It depends.
It all depends.
It depends on it.
No, it depends.
It
The
depends
venue.
on the
Depends on the
promoter
venue,
too.
the promoter.
Because the promoter might put some gas on it,
Yeah.
and you might be paying $100 a ticket.
But
But
you
it's
know,
it all depends on the car too, because not like with go-go, we all tend to sometimes play all together. So if you put all the acts together, then the
might
average
want-
patron, they'll pay whatever to come see all their favorite bands in
Yeah,
one
they
bill.
might want
like a concert.
$200
Yeah.
a ticket.
Okay.
So where are the pockets that you guys feel like receive it well in the country? Because then you got to think about like what the tour looks like.
so we just did a show in
cities?
Boston.
Yeah, what cities?
Yeah.
We
okay.
did a show in Boston, and I don't think they had ever heard it. Honestly. And it's like, where would it do well? Meaning, where would the people come? Like if they heard that?
No,
it's
if I had to
coming
go
the
to
town?
if I had to go to a touring company and say, look, I think that this is what I'm thinking. I think y'all should like, put like I don't know, like 5, 6 bands together. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, about 6, 7.
5, 6, 7 bands together, and do a tour. They're gonna say, okay, where are the sweet spots? Where are the cities?
ATL,
ATL for sure. North Carolina.
North Carolina,
North
Charlotte.
Carolina, Charlotte.
We just went to LA.
LA.
So I know it's a lot of people from DMV in this area
That's
that
in
lives
LA.
in LA. But it's a lot of people out there that never heard go-go. Like we just played in Leimert Park, and it was a lot of people that never heard go-go, and they was blown away because they never heard
New York.
go-go.
New
You know
York.
what I'm saying? New York.
New York.
Yeah.
So pretty much, East Coast.
East Coast.
Yeah.
And some West Coast.
Some West Coast.
What about the South?
So like New Orleans, and we can put a great crowd in New Orleans as well, because we have people down there too, and they like to see all of us together. And then now people will travel with us as well.
Oh yeah. Go
Yeah,
fans will go.
that's
Will go
Definitely
here.
facts.
Go.
Especially if it's a big tour with all their favorite
They will
bands.
come.
Yeah.
Everybody
They'll
will
follow
go.
us.
All right,
Definitely.
I'm dead ass.
Also
Y'all
Ghana
heard
too.
it?
Yes.
Africa too. Ghana.
Oh yeah,
We went
Black
to
Alley's
Ghana,
going to
too.
Ghana. Black Alley's going to Ghana in October, November.
Yeah, so we was in
Yeah.
Ghana and we packed out Labadi Beach. Flood. And
What is that like?
Labadi Beach. It's a beach in Ghana.
What do you think? How many people?
I'm not even sure. It was crowded. I gotta look at the tape. It was crowded.
Okay. Nah, listen. I'm.
You know what I mean?
That's two things I'm on it.
Yeah, man.
Just out of just respect and just like.
And then we have
It's
to make
also
some,
just like-
we have to make some music too.
Oh, no, I'm saying that's two things.
That's the second thing.
I'm for sure doing that. I'm for sure. I can't control the what we was just talking about. But I'm
But that
definitely gonna
music,
try to
yeah,
like
we got
influence it because
people been
But I'm glad
waiting
you
for that.
looking into it though, because like that's all go-go needs is somebody like yourself.
Exactly.
I ain't gonna be around the bush. Somebody like yourself, that's a goat like yourself, to really look into our genre and say, well, we can take this everywhere.
'Cause we've been
Because I
trying.
know that for a fact. People love live instrumentation all around the world.
Yeah.
So go-go is in a class of its own. Like it's really in the class of its own. So I think like we was to just do like y'all just said and get like some type of tour together going on. I think
And then it's kind of hard because everybody in our city right here, they be like, come on, G, we looking for you to talk to Pharrell and all these different people, but they don't know it's kind of hard. They be like, well, you on TV, all you gotta do is call somebody. It's not that easy, bro. You know what I mean? And I be like, when it's time, it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? But we gotta keep working hard. That's what I tell everybody. I tell them this all the time. We just gotta keep smashing on the gas, and then eventually somebody will be like, hey, okay, let's try this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's just like
so
rock and
we just
roll.
gotta keep going, man.
It's like rock and roll. Rock and roll started in what? Tennessee, right? Then rock and roll started in Tennessee or
somewhere
something
down in South, I
Tennessee.
believe. Yeah.
But it migrated from that place and it just spread like a virus.
Yeah.
I think go-go could be the same type of influence on the world.
It has, but like he was saying earlier, like every time there was a moment where everyone was supposed to get together and really make it
Everybody
happen.
just jump off.
Cause what's his name? DJ Flex?
Yeah.
That water dance?
Oh yeah.
That was a thing, bro. That was everywhere.
That was
You heard
huge.
that everywhere.
EU.
But they would always just treat them songs like one-offs. I'm like, no, you guys don't understand.
Yeah.
That's just like the surface. It's like, I mean, I love that song. I love those chords. But that is what we got to work to change. And I think, like us doing something like really doing like some records, like that's gonna be fun. I've been talking to Wale for years, and we go in and we around, and he'll tell me like, yeah, that's it, nah, that's not it, like and I just listen to him because he Wale, like he knows, like he gets it, like he. As soon as one of them beats come on, he go into that dance.
He told me that.
Man, he goes into that immediately. He hit that shit off the rip. But for me, I want to get it right, you know.
Just wanna get it right.
I think you just got to be in a room together.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be in that room that time in Miami, but you had to shoot out.
Yes, sir.
So we'll get it. We gonna get it. We've been talking.
No, we gonna put it on the books.
Yeah, we'll put it on
It's
the
different.
books. It's time.
But I do want to give props to G too because he really does take all the bands and just, you know, just scoops us up. You know what I'm saying? He really does. It's so beautiful, man.
I just feel if I'm on a platform like Rosenberg and those shows, I just feel that we have to speak upon all of us because it's not about one band. And I feel that that's what the older guys did. I think they were selfish to not speak upon all the talent that we had right here. If you don't speak upon everybody, then you would really never get out. The dam would stay closed. You wanted to break so everybody can get wet.
That's a
Okay,
fact.
G.
I just want to see Go-Go make it out of DC.
No, it's finna, bro. We own it. We own it now. We own it. I'm gonna do everything that I can to help and support.
Wow.
I wanted to just say real quick, and I'm gonna shut up because I ain't heard you say enough, Scott.
This is great.
You know what's so crazy to me is that New York is not far from here. Philly's not far from here. Baltimore is not far from here. And Virginia's not far from here. And all of the sounds are so different. And especially, like, it's crazy because, I'm gonna make sure I say this right because people get mad at me when I things up here in the DMV. PG County is like very close to DC, right?
Borderline.
Right? And then,
Borderline.
but then Baltimore is not far either. And meanwhile, the music in Baltimore is like, and there'd be that energy right there too. The music in Baltimore is so different.
Yeah.
I mean, you can hear some go there, but it's not. You gonna hear Baltimore club music.
House.
It's club. It's what they call it.
House.
Beemore?
House.
Yeah.
Which I think is amazing too. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I heard that music for the first time in my life. I was like, what the f is this? That guy, the Miss Tony dude?
Yeah.
Man, them choruses and like, it's amazing. But how is it that there is a audio city limit? How does that work?
I don't know. The 45-minute drive?
And by the way, and it's an accent city limit.
Oh, it is a different.
It's an accent city limit.
T.
Like nobody here says go to the store. Or I got something to do. But they really mean it.
They think we sound country.
Yeah.
They think we sound country
And they
because
really
we
serious about it.
But I'm talking about in the air though. It's not like a line. It's not like a city limit line. It's just like as soon as you like what I'm gonna do is go over here and do. It's like in the air. Listen, I'm from here. I'm from the DMV. We spent so many summers coming up here to DC. Some women are fine. Sorry, Howard, I don't even understand. It's like a factory of like just gorgeous black women that just come out and they smart as hell and beautiful.
Yeah, that's smart as shit.
But we spent so much time up here. I don't understand. How does that work? How do y'all have y'all ever considered that? Because you know it's not dirt. It's not
hard,
like a city limit. It's literally in the air.
But it's the travel. Like it's not as close as you. Like PG
It's like 30
and
minutes.
DC
Yeah,
are
it's close.
here.
It's right here.
Baltimore
like
and
30
DC
minutes
are
away.
here.
Like 40
got
minutes.
You gotta get a drive. You gotta drive
Baltimore
down.
and DC
You
is
gotta drive down.
40 minutes away.
It's like the yos and the mo.
You got the yos and the mo's. We the mo's and they the yo. 'Cause they say everything yo with them and everything we say
And
is
then they got the
mo.
other joint, they say dummy.
Dummies.
They call you dummy.
Like it's like a cultural
not
difference.
calling you a dummy, that's just how you talk.
It's a cultural difference. They're a little bit different from us.
when you say the DMV,
it's never
they like-
seemed close.
Like they
It's
would go
never
to-
seemed close.
But it is, you guys.
But see, just like a DC, like I'm born
Like
and raised in DC.
LA and the Bay is just way different,
Like
right?
hours away.
I get that,
yeah.
but I don't get it.
And then everybody get mad, like, I'm not from the DMV, I'm from DC, I'm from Maryland. Then I got my lady friends and some, it's gorgeous Prince George's. Don't mix it.
Person
Don't
from
mix it.
Baltimore or say they not from the DMV.
You know what I'm saying? So it's,
Person from Baltimore.
yeah, and they say, we
I
be
actually
more,
get it.
son. We not that. We
I get
be
it.
more.
I get it, man. I actually get it.
And you thinking like PG County is in Maryland, the state of Maryland, and Baltimore is in the state of Maryland, but they don't.
But DC sits
they don't
in
click.
Maryland. You know what I'm saying? DC
PG
sits in
clicks
Maryland.
more with us than
They do. That's
Baltimore.
what I'm saying. That's what's so crazy to
And
me.
that just really
Because you could be in PG 1 second and be in DC in a minute, literally. Like,
That's true.
Yeah, right across the
Literally.
line.
Right
And the
across
lingo
line.
is
way
the lingo
more.
I get being different, but it's
Yeah.
super different.
It is.
When I was a
It's
kid, they
like
used to say things like sice. I was sice. You know?
yeah.
Yeah, I was
Like-
Like,
That's like OG.
Yeah, you
I still
say.
say size.
I do too.
Yeah, he was
Like,
like,
Like beer.
And calling
the old
everybody
school.
youngin.
Oh, what's up, young?
Yeah, young.
Go ahead.
Nah,
yeah.
young, go down there.
That's old
So
school.
now the new generation like, come on, Mo.
No,
Yeah.
Mo.
Kill
Kill Mo.
Kill Mo.
Kill Mo. And you
Kill
like,
Mo.
why is Mo being killed? That's what it is.
So
Kill
it's,
Mo.
just, it's
I
different.
love it. It's
It's that slang, man.
I can never get too much of
Too
this.
much, I know,
It's
right?
amazing.
Yeah.
I love this culture so much.
Me too.
Great, man.
Is it healthy? Like in the city, can you just find clubs to go to every weekend, or how does that
Yes,
work?
every weekend there's clubs, but
Yeah.
It's a go-go every day.
it's a go
Hell yeah.
every night.
It's a go-go every day.
Every day.
At the same place, or you
No,
just have to
nah,
be in the
different
know?
clubs,
venues.
Different
Different
venues.
venues. Like they play every week. They play every week. We play every week. Like it could be, they could be at a show. We could be at a show, and they could be at a show. And there's 2 more other shows going on
Yeah.
all in the same day at different venues.
Oh, wow.
I could play and then go see back later on.
Man,
And most of the time we play together.
on Fridays.
So I can play, and then I can stay and hear him play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in your band, you play?
I sing. I'm the
lead.
lead
You
man.
okay? You
She's the
sing.
Lead
one,
mic.
not the two.
So like
all
most
of that.
bands have a front line where it's a bunch of folk in the front.
She
Mine
by
is just
herself.
me.
Wow.
She's the one and not
And
the
that's
two.
why I
That's
say
why I
when
just
she
said
do
she's
it
the
on
one.
stage, she do it.
She can do it.
She tear it.
Thank you.
Flat out do it.
That's amazing.
Like Nike.
I need the most comprehensive, crazy playlist of all of this stuff,
Okay.
and I will be studying and doing all of my homework.
Okay.
We got a good playlist for you. We do. All
But
of us.
I also think that it's important, just talking about how I'm the only person in the front. I think the culture needs to be open to the evolvement of go-go. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be just one type of sound. I feel like go-go is influenced by so many things, but we're influenced by other genres of music inside go-go. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, there's been an argument about Black Alley because there's no front line. Are y'all really a go-go band? Like, are y'all really? Can you really call yourself that? Because I like rock and roll. Like, I'm trying to headbang and crank. You know what I mean? Both. And
That's
a lot of
amazing.
times people are not open to that. So I think it's important. And I appreciate G so much for doing what he does and always supporting, Black Alley and that, because a lot of OG bands don't. They're like, y'all don't really do.
Cause you
go-go.
kill a stage though. If you,
I ain't
you
gonna lie.
see her,
When I
she
first
like
heard of
film
y'all,
she
man, I thought the
rip it.
same thing
You
until I
did?
seen you live.
Yeah.
And I say she's dope.
Yeah.
She's better than half of the dudes in go-go.
That's crazy.
Thank y'all, man.
Cause she get up
And I ain't just saying that, but she right here. And I told her that. She's dope.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
dope. She always open her stage up, and it's like the collabs, and I think that's what makes go-go better now that we all work together. You know what I mean? You have different ones. I go catch her. I go catch Chris. I go see everybody because I just love it. You know what I mean? It's just, I just love the feeling. I just love the atmosphere. Give me a cocktail, man, some wings, and then everything else happens.
Yeah.
So I got a question. So there's different eras of go-go music and different basically subgenres. Like
You got the
Bounce beat.
You got the bounce beat. You got the I call it the old school shooby dooby doo bop. You got Chuck. Look, you got Chuck Brown.
Is that
you got Lil
old school?
Benny. That's the old. Those are the goats. You got Chuck Brown. You got Bugs. You got Lil Benny.
Essence.
You got Essence. All the pioneers. EU and Sugar Bear. And then you got Pops, and then I call them Pops.
Then it's her after that.
Got him.
and what's that sound?
The crank. I call that the crank.
Right, we just
Yeah.
go.
They
Yeah.
crank. They crank. And then after them it came the bounce beat.
So here's my question to you. What's the first tape you heard Bounce Beat on?
TCB. Rest in peace, Polo.
TCB.
R.I.P. to
Wow.
Polo, the inventor, the owner, the founder of TCB band. He cultivated something that a whole generation after him.
After him jumped in. Yeah.
We
And
jumped
used
in
to
right
sit
after that.
Indian style. And I used to tell them the same thing I told Chris. I say, you gotta get some musicians that's gonna stick with you and love it like you love it, and you won't have no problem. After that, If you got somebody just want to be in the band for the girls, it ain't gonna work. Because they ain't gonna be on time, they ain't gonna practice, nothing.
That's
So,
man, that's so
TCB, they made up the bounce beat. They made it up.
So when you said earlier she's better than half the guys, is it a male-dominated genre?
Yeah, go-go is pretty much male dominated.
But the lady voice stands out. But what I love about her, she gets up there, she does it all. You just gotta really see her, cause her band is amazing. Cause they do rock, they mix it in with the beat, they do crank, they do everything. So it's just a whole piece with her, and she up there by herself.
I need to hear all
this. She always got her shit going, and then she's a sweetheart. See, a lot of them get up there and be like really snobby.
Yeah.
But you gotta still love them because they in the band with men, and it's like underarms and shit. There's all kind of stuff going on.
See, I said that
she's gotta be like, you know.
I said that she's better than half of the men because I personally got up there and did it by myself before.
My bad.
So, and I know how hard that is, and she does that.
Every time.
She can do that with a blindfold, like call the signs, all that, make sure the band on point. So,
calling signs.
call the signs.
Tell the band what to do.
No, you gotta call the signs.
That's a big part. That's a big
the
part.
lead mic. We also.
No, that's a big part. See, that's what people really don't understand. Like, and you know what's so crazy? Like, I used to sneak in the black hole.
Call the signs, the ones you drive past?
No, she's calling the signs. Call the signs.
You tell the band, you give the band
signs. Give them the signs.
Tell them again.
Your city.
Let's get to the rear. Oh, got it. What I'm thinking you talking about is like when they be shouting out everybody, I was like, oh, they like talking about the record, the street signs.
The blocks.
But we remember that in the crowd because once you come see us, we get to tell you our fan base. So you gotta remember it. You gotta remember.
I was about to lose my mind. Okay, look. that whole thing too, of like, y'all, the shout out that y'all do,
you gotta get
and they be doing it on the beat. That be sounding harder than a bar, bro.
You gotta have it.
I'm gonna point to him. I ain't about to keep doing this, but I'm gonna point to him because he made up half of all of this lingo that everybody in go-go uses on the mic. Like we might say, they heading for the border, that's for the Search Your Quarter crew. But he made that up. You know they heading for the whole Search Your Quarter way they heading. You know they heading for
I'm
just being real.
But it's like a study, because like I watch like the older guys, like Funk and those guys with Red Essence, and I say, how can I do mine different? So I came with that just calling out the street signs, but I wanted to be unique and have them come to see me and say, I want them to say it like this. So I might say one crew slicker than the other crew. They say, man, do my jump like that.
And guess what?
You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying as a fan before I was even in the band, I would come to the show just to hear him say certain people's name like, man, dang, he don't nobody say that Quincy Street better than him. He said, I know it's a simple word, but he said it, man. He made me believe I was from Quincy Street. You know what I'm saying?
That's what made me stand up, because that's what I thought you were saying. Yeah. I thought you were referring to that part of what it is that you guys do.
He was talking about the signals.
I'm just saying like the signal.
The transition in and out of songs.
Just conducting. I get you. For me, man, hearing y'all, listen, he's right. Hearing you say certain things like that, you be like, man, it's amazing. You feel like you're there.
Man, I used to tell the owner of the club, I say, man, my name gonna be up there. And he was like, nah, he's crazy. Just go home. You can't get in here, you're too little. And I said, I'm gonna be in here one day. And once I was able to play in the black hole, that was it from there. But I fell in love with it first. And that's why I always tell Chris, I say, once you love it, it's gonna be a gift to you. And I always told him, get some kids that's gonna play with you that love it just as much as you love it. Right. And you'll be, because a lot of bands came along and gone now.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I say it all the time. You can't, you like, those signs and those signals. I get band members, and he'll tell you, I get other bands that come to watch me just to see how I run the band, just to see how I'm in it. And I take it serious. If a band member miss a cue, I'm pissed off. Because I want my fans to keep coming. That's why they don't understand how Bang fans still come.
Yeah.
And I watch her. I stand there and watch her. Sometimes she don't even know I'm in there. And I just watch her. She got that band fine too. I watch him. You know what I mean? It's this complimenting your people. But it's like being up there and seeing that adrenaline pump, and that time when Push came in and say, you see talk, and calls you on the phone with that FaceTime? I'm like, he just called Pharrell, bro. That's
coulda
that
cried.
make you feel
I coulda
good.
cried.
You know what I'm saying? And
huge.
I'm just like this. I want them to come to see us, and like we perform with all the like different rappers. Scarface, I called him Brad. I called Brad on the phone, and he'd be like, "I'm coming." You know what I mean? I'm there. I'll be there. You know what I mean? And it's like, gee, how you know Scarface? I done performed with Scarface. I had a pamper on stage, bro. I had literally had a pamper on. He like, you lost your damn mind. So he like, I love how you just elevate, G. Just keep going. So when they come in town, he like, I played with this band, but I'd rather get with you guys. You know what I mean? And I'd be like, but no, you need to check them out too. And he'd be like, damn, you always feeding somebody. You putting the play, they ain't gonna do that. I said, but that's what I was taught. I was taught.
Each one teach one.
Each one teach one. You know what I mean? But I thought that the older generation didn't do that. And that's why I think we fell off at.
Yeah.
Another cool thing about Back specifically is that signed artists, well-known artists from around the world will come play, but the party is back. So you come and see an artist. Backyard closes the show.
Sure, exactly.
They close the show for the nationally known artists. Like,
Wow.
that's how DC
And
goes.
it'd be fun though. It'd be
Yeah.
fun. Cause like when we played with Trina that time, and then the people was like, nobody come back this way. And we was standing on the side, and they was like, ho, but this the band that's playing. They was like, nah, so they told us that we had to be right here cause we gotta get right on. And they was like, come on. And then she came out and did the joint, and they was like, oh, they tore it up with us. And what's the guy from Tennessee?
Juicy J?
Not Juicy J, Project Pat.
Project Pet.
We got up there, they went crazy. But we hit his stuff. We
Yeah.
played the song, they went crazy. They like, Devin the dude, we play him, and it's like, they like, man, how did y'all know that? It was like, just tell us what you want us to do, bro. And it's just fun. And it's like the artists, like at the end, they like, man, we gotta get together, bro. So that's how we developed that relationship with Houston, Texas. Like, we just like, Fifth Ward, all those guys, Ghetto Boys, they always came down and jammed with us. That's why when the connection with Steve Francis, I'm like, Steve, I already been with them. I already been to Houston, bro. I already know them. He like, you already know, bro. It's like, yeah, they call me Gingo. Gingo, come on in. You know what I mean? We eating food and we having fun. But it's like, I think the older generation didn't feed us enough and didn't really teach us. Some of them did. Lil Benny sat down with us, Chuck. He had that door open with Chucky Thompson, because we used to practice in Chucky basement. So Chucky taught me how to count to 8.
Wow.
So if you don't know how to count to 8, you don't need to be in the band.
Yeah.
The bars, the measures.
You know what I mean? So everything is off the 8. So we just learned that. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, go-go is like on the 8. Like we
It's
like
on
we
the
turn
eight.
around
Turnaround is on the 8.
The beat turn around on the 8.
Turnaround.
Instead of like, it's 8 to 16.
16, yeah, 24.
I know, but
So that's
go-go
what
is
that
just
was. He was like, once your band learns the 8, you will never have they'll be with you forever. And I had them right there. So I just try to teach the ones that came after me.
You don't try, you do.
No, you do. You ain't do
That's
nothing but
crazy.
just take me in. So
Yeah.
Crazy. I got a question. I know what the pocket is. I felt the pocket. How do I explain the pocket to somebody else? Like what? Like, is that a section in there?
It's
What is it like? I can't do that though. I'm be real. I can't say that.
like I said, it's hard. Like I just said,
It's
earlier.
hard.
And we elaborated earlier. All three of us.
Yeah.
They gotta see it.
I'm gonna put it in
You
the
gotta see
pocket
it.
for you.
I put it in the pocket. I know what that means.
Yeah.
So crazy.
I'm
And I was
saying,
just-
like, but if you was to have like a drummer and a Congo player, right in front of you,
Yeah.
like, what's a pocket? Man, y'all heard the pocket beat? Nah, I ain't heard the pocket beat. Kick that shit.
Because it's so different because it's unique and it's
Who
right
made
there.
the pocket, man? Where did that
Who
come
made
from?
He can tell you that because I can't even tell you.
Chuck Brown. So
Wow.
Chuck had it was the Young Senators back in the day.
That's a dope
They
name.
was like a R&B like jazz band, and Pops put that joint in the pocket one day.
And
That
that was
want
it.
some money, need some money. And from
So he
there,
was the first.
Pops was the first.
Chuck.
But then, Chuck.
Wow.
And that was it. if I ever get my hands on the dollar again, I'm gonna squeeze on into the ego brand. I need some money. Oh, my.
For my time, I wasn't even born.
So that was it. That played that record all the way out. So everybody went crazy.
What year was that?
Man, I think that was like 70-something. Maybe 79.
I wasn't even thought of
79, about 8, because it was the Young Senators first. Because I did all my history. You know what I mean, Cornell, they taught me. Like, and I listened, I'm like, damn, so the Young Senators. And then I did that interview with the guy that used to manage Riddick Bowe, that had the thing on WHUR.
I know what you're talking about.
What was his name? I forget his name. And there was a few members of the old Senators that used to play with Chuck. And they was like, yeah, because we ain't want to do that beat. And he said, this beat gonna take us far. And he put that joint in the pocket, and that was it. You know what I mean? And it just ran. Like, so when artists come in, they be like, damn, that pocket. So just like you saying, how would you explain the pocket? Like with Raphael Sadiq. He said, man, dog, y'all play this song better than me. Let's play the song. So we at the Merriweather.
Still right.
He called, and he was at 9:30. He said, yo, G, where you at? Come down and perform with me tonight. I said, bro, we got a show. He said, man, that show can wait later. He said, come now. And we performed with him at the 9:30 club, just me, PJ, and Wink. They went crazy. He was like, I got a surprise for y'all. I'm gonna show y'all something the DC way. And they went bananas.
Wow.
Crazy. I wasn't even supposed to be on the stage because I'm not on that song. But I had to get on that stage. I got the tuba dude say, come on, Slim, come on. Come up there, and I grabbed the mic and I just sliced it, but I put it in the go-go form. We had the drummer. So Raphael Sadiq say, do the pocket. Do the pocket. Don't do it this way. Do it like y'all do it. They went crazy.
Well, that's just like Anthony Hamilton. He had his Congo player come to his show and play the pocket over his music.
And it was it was like when you get that call and they come in and they see us, because we all performed at Merriweather. They say, yo, we gotta do this. We gotta do this. Yeah. But we couldn't do it on that set because everybody already had this shit set. But he was like, when I come back, and he called. And then when we was in LA, he was calling, he's like, when were you gonna do with that? And I always tell Wink, man, like, you a singer, bro, you gotta call him. He said, call him though. So you gotta make that connection, because a lot of times, DC, we too cool.
I ain't gonna lie, we treat, not to say it like that.
We too cool to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna call him. Yeah. Like, and I was in that realm, but like, when I met Sidney Poitier that time, at the 2007 NAACP, everybody wanted to meet Oprah and all them people. I just say, man, can I just go over there and just sit with Sidney? I just want to sit with him and just see what he talking about. Everybody was over there and I was just with him, and I sucked up so much information. And I was just like, bro, this is where I want to be. You know what I mean? And he was just saying the music, and then they were saying, that's the guy to do the music. And I'm like, he's like, you know, Chuck Brown. And I said, what? He said, Chuck Brown.
Yeah.
Like, no. So it's just a breath of fresh air when people know your music. And then we're around the world, but we're not around the world.
People that know about go-go,
Yes.
it just, I mean, I think a lot of people were afraid of it, or not necessarily afraid, because some people are afraid of things they don't understand.
Yeah.
So if you put it in front of them, they might understand. Like, you know, that's why I kind of like, I love Wale and what he do, because he still brought the sound of our city with him.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
And what I was just saying, Kay, about Wale, I said, and I tell him, and he'll tell you this. He said on his first album, he got me in the thing, man. G says crabs in a barrel. But I say, man, hey, you can't save everybody. I said, you do so much, and then you don't get your kudos for it. But he try to bring everybody.
Yeah.
He don't stop it. He be like, man, bro, they don't be knowing how much fighting he do for the music. He had to do all what he did. And I just be like, man, give him his props, bro. Like, let that man breathe, bro. Like, he do everything he can. He be like, man, I be like this, man. Just go do what you gotta do. He be like this, nah, but I gotta bring it down. Then I say, man, who you say next? I say, Chris. He ain't pay no love. What'd he do? He grabbed Chris. He grabbed him. He didn't. That's why I always say, it's not about one band. It's about all of us. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he does it every time.
He's big on the culture, because I went in the studio and I sung a song in the studio. He wasn't in there when I was recording it. He come in the studio. He said, no, I don't like this. It don't sound like go-go. It sounds too clean. It sounds like some studio. I want the go-go. I want what y'all doing the go-go. Go back in there and say it again. I'm like, for real? So, like, he definitely
You was trying to be too clean.
Yeah, I was trying to be too clean. I was like,
be
I'm in the
dirty,
studio.
man.
And he said, nah. He said, do what you do when you on the stage with the live go-go band. So,
Yeah.
It's so inspiring. Just hearing y'all talk, y'all accents and everything.
I know it's blowing your way.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It really is.
I think we could take a couple questions if you guys want to.
Hi, I'm Samara. I was born and raised in DC, and I know that go-go is so sacred to us. But in a city that it's changing so rapidly, especially with gentrification, Black people and poor people are being pushed out of DC, which has created so much for the world. Our lingo, our style, Rolling Ray, even the musical genre of punk was created here. So how do we spread what DC has done, but also preserve our culture? Because it feels like it's being taken away from us.
Yeah.
Also, hi Pharrell.
No, that's a good one because keeping it preserved and the culture with the regentrification with a lot of people moving in, I think is great. But I always talk to our council members, and Chris will tell you, I'm on their back, bro. We need the music back in the schools.
That's the first thing they took the schools.
Because that's when they take the music out of the schools. That's where
Facts.
it starts right there. That's the root.
Can I add one little thing? A couple years ago, DCPS was actually trying to combine arts and music together. When I was 17 years old, I had to speak in front of the board and tell them that arts and music has to be separated. We can't have 1 hour to teach all these kids different mediums. So
I agree.
Thank you guys.
Yes.
Great question.
I had a question right there.
Hello. Shout out to the legends that are here, our living legends. We thank you. I just wanted to remind us all that, yes, juju music and go-go music are one and the same. When we hear those drums, we know what that really means. And I just wanted to say, as a third generation native Washingtonian, my daughter's here with me, I just wanted to say, when you all have this event, please make it multi-generational, because right now, we're so grateful for you, Big G, that you've done so much great things in the city, and just having the extra link of Chuck and all those to sit with you all, to have that multi-generational conversation would be perfect. My mother was of that era, you were of my era with TCB, UCB, and then my daughter has Kacey with Black Alley and TOB, so we thank y'all so much for what you all do for the city.
Appreciate you. Yes. Thank you, Queen.
Hey everyone, my name is Miss Hardy. I'm with Guns Down Friday. I first want to say today I had got an email. Well, my daughter wanted to go to something in the water, and I was like, baby, I don't got the money for something in the water. So I said, it's a panel we can go to. I don't know exactly who's going to be there, but we can definitely go to the panel. So when we got here today and we seen all these great people, I just want to say this is awesome and thank you. Where my daughter at? She's right there. PG County, Siouxland graduate. So I want to say thank you guys for just this opportunity. But my question is, so I love go-go. My daughter, they have this new little dance that they do over go-go music, and it just upsets me. So
I need to see this dance, by the way.
God, I can't do it.
And it can be, a woman of age, by the way, doing it. But I just need to see, because I love everything about the
Yes, it's a new dance they have, but it's still over go-go music, so I'm okay with that. But what do you guys think about that?
Me personally, I'm gonna tell you, me coming from being in the go-go band since I was 14, and I grew into, my fans had the opportunity to grow with us, and band members done changed, and throughout the years, we done raised people with us, it's people that grew with us. I can honestly say that right now, it's a generational gap with the youth and go-go. Because when I was coming up, this is little do you know, and people that know me know that I rave about him. This is an idol. When I first met him, it was I am when I'm just meeting you right now. I'm appalled.
No. This guy is a whole other level.
No. I'm just saying though. In retrospect, I looked it up some, but go-go TOB started in middle school. because it was people like him and Polo from TCB that we aspired to be like. So, in other words, we had the music in our school. Said that what made us go in the band room and fake like we Big G. I got the brush in my hand, like acting like I'm him and looking in the mirror. So basically what I'm saying is it's a generational gap because they took away all the parties away from the kids. They took the music out the schools.
Yep.
So the fact that she's doing the TikTok dance, the gritty and all that, they doing that because that's what they accustomed to. But go-go music is kind of different, but we should let them put their own twist on, you know.
Yeah.
Because I told them,
No more kitty cabarets, with no more young go-go's where
No young
the
go-go
hot
bands.
shops and all that. Because we used to have them on the weekends where the younger, it'll be a matinee. Where pack a room like this with just all kids and the stage is here and the band is there. Your mama be outside waiting till you come out.
And if you snuck to
Everybody
the club,
disperse, and then you get your mama take you home.
snuck to the club. Hey,
They stopped all that.
Jerry Brown, come to the door. Your mother's at the door with the belt.
But we'll stop. We'll stop and
We
be like,
stop
hey,
the whole go-go. Your mom's at the door.
Carlos Jones, your mom is
Mom's at
outside.
the door.
They be like, they take the fun out of it. So it's like, I feel you.
See, when I was coming up, we had kitty cabarets every other week. Like every week, it was a kitty cabaret from 2 to 10 at night, and then after that, you go home or something like that. But now it's like a disconnection because the kids don't have nowhere
And
to
it
party.
also has to do with the stigma that has been placed on go-go music.
Facts.
It's violent, it's
Violence.
crazy, it's, you'll
they-
go there and there'll be danger.
Yeah,
you
they
know?
get mad. They used to get mad at me because they say I was a preacher. Because I stopped. And I stopped the music and everything and started preaching like non-violence. Like, y'all got to stop. They be like, oh, come on, G. You talking too much. Y'all, we trying to party. But I would be that one. And I think that did well because, like, I would be the only one that does that. And then I step them out and be like, hey, please leave safely. Evacuate the premises as soon as possible. Hey, what's the fathers out here? But it's like, yeah, it's different now though.
This is such an honor. You and your daughter, you guys will definitely go to the festival.
Hey, bro.
And just so you know, like all these panels and all of this stuff is the festival. This is the festival. The festival isn't just music.
Yeah, it's
So
learning and everything.
You guys are definitely gonna
That's
go.
what's up.
That's what's up, bro.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
That's real nigga shit right there.
What's up? Yeah.
He a
How you
real
guys-
one, man.
In terms of reaching out to the youth and making it more accessible and stuff like that, are there any programs you guys want to basically implement in schools and stuff in terms of education to kind of bring it to the forefront so that way it can live on?
Yeah, we've been trying, bro. We've been at the council.
We just was at Duke
We was just at Duke Ellington.
Ellington, yeah.
We had a panel, and then Chris and them played, and we spoke. It was one of my mentors that brung me up there, because two of my members graduated from Duke, and we were up there talking to the kids, and I was mesmerized on how the kids knew all the songs, and they was like, man, could y'all come and play? Could y'all come? And I was like, man, we need it more in the schools because this is our music here. This is our culture. This is our sound. And I think we need it more. And Chris will tell you, kids, I go at the council people all the time, bro. Yeah. I go down to Wilson Building, I fight for laws about our music. I talk to them all the time about, the nightlife, that they made me one of the commissioners on the board. And I still think they ain't give me enough power because I'm like, hey, bro, we need this music, bro, but I can talk to the youth. You know what I mean? I done had sessions where I done saved different kids from being in gangs and all that. I had a whole program I implemented in over Turkey Thicket, and I just asked them. I said, can I bring a gun in here? But it wasn't a real gun, but it was a replica. But I just had the kids on the panel. I say, here, what would you do with this gun? And you would have been amazed at what the kid said. One little kid said, I would do something to my mother boyfriend because he beats her at night. I would do something to the guy that did something to my brother. But you never know. These were kids. And I'm just asking, like, you need to know what these kids thinking about. What do you want to do, young man? I want to be in a band. I want to make beats. I want to be a singer. They never ask the kids what they want to do. They just put a plan out there. And then they don't know. He's like, come on, man. Ask the kids what they want to do first. You know? Yeah.
My name's Dag. I'm a music producer, out of DC. And I just wanted to go back and talk about just moving go-go and like spreading it around, and like the conflict between like artists that mix it into other genres and like kind of lose like the sound a little bit. But Wale like is a good example of like doing it right. But you got all these other artists like sampling go-go, and people don't really know it's go-go. And so is that like a good way to spread it still, or is it kind of losing
I think
its
so.
character?
I think you want to touch on that, Kim?
Yeah, I think it's I think, Pharrell, you said this a little bit too. You have to have somebody who comes and knows about the culture, because something could sound like go-go, but it's not it. And only somebody who is in it will know that that's not it. And then if you bring it back to the city, they're gonna know that's not it either, and you're gonna have a difficult time trying to sell it to the people who have created it and cultivated it. So, and I also said before, it's hard to translate the live sound on record. It's just a difficult, and that's something that Black Alley has been struggling to do for years. Like, we cannot get the same energy and the sound, you know, in the studio that we get,
Live.
you know, live.
Yeah.
So we've gone to recording live. That's
Live.
what we got to do. There's no other way to do it, or we haven't figured out another way to do it. So as far as the progression of it in the industry, you know, we trying to figure it out. Can you help us as a young producer, please? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But see, it goes back to what I was just saying earlier. Like, I went in the studio and tried to do, like, I did a go-go song. We covered Bobby Caldwell's Open Up Your Eyes, right? Now, the way I sing it live with my band was kind of different from how I went in the studio. And then, like I said, Wale came and said, bro,
You want it like that.
I don't want it like that, bro. I want you to sing it the same way you sing it when you perform with the band. So, like, I think it's just the essence of people, like, I think go-go needs to be recorded. Like, record us, record the go-go. Like, you know what I mean? Like record us in the studio.
So
actually,
I was just getting, when she said, I was just getting ready to say, I know Apple now has that feature where you can listen to it in surround.
Wow.
Man, that's how y'all shouldn't record anything else other than that way. So that every time somebody put on headphones, they get that feeling.
That feeling.
You're gonna get that feeling when it's spatial, yeah.
So that's what I was telling Wale. It was after, it was Meek Mill, somebody, we was in New York at a concert, then we went to the studio. And how he was playing it, he was like this, nah, G, it's not that sound. But if you have that surround and it sounds like that, and it's like the acoustics is busting in there.
Yeah.
They can really like translate it more. And that's a good question, because like I go all over, man. And I'm like, you know, but I'm open to anything. You know what I mean? That's why they be like, damn, G, you think that sound like that? That's why Scarface always like, I just want to be live with it. Just give me the bass and let me feel it. And I need to hear that beat.
Yeah.
That's why you a genius with what you do. Your sound is like no other sound.
I be trying, thank you, man.
No, you kill like man, come on, man. Like if I had Snoop and we was in the studio with Snoop. Man, Snoop like, man, this is something different. I love it. We was up all night. And he was like, you can't hang, G. I said, no, I'm sleepy. So it was just that fret. Like, we been with the bed, like, just to be on stage with you right now, and like, I've been, like, you know how you try to tap in? They say every time, everything takes its time to come around, like I was telling you earlier out there, Kay. Like, our Washingtonians and our people, we know our music. We know what we want to be. We accept everybody that come in, but everybody don't accept us. You know, I always tell the artists here, like, man, get that piece, bruh. Get that juice and, like, let them know where you from. Like, don't switch up your sound for nobody. Be yourself.
Please.
Because they'd be like, hey, damn, that sounds good. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. And that's why I always be telling the youngers, like, man, when you rapping and doing your thing, just have your own style, because you sit out more than anybody, and they'll be like, damn, I like that sound. What can we do with it, with the kid? You know what I mean? Or whatever, but that was a good question, bro. Like, you know what I mean? We just gotta keep pushing at it. And you just gotta keep trying to make them beats and just make it raw as possible. When the last time you been to the go-go? Get in the go-go, bro. Y'all bring your ass in the go-go, man. Yeah, man, so you know, yeah.
How y'all doing? My name is Jared. I'm originally from Detroit, and honestly, me asking all of y'all a question, you, Pharrell especially, is something off my bucket list. I I've been in Virginia for about 20 years, and I didn't really realize how much go-go has influenced my life until I actually, and I fell in love with go-go, dancing with a woman at a college party, changed everything for me. So I guess my question is, knowing that, especially once again with Pharrell, and honestly with go-go in general has been around for so long with the inception of hip-hop, how does that drive your creativity, and what does that do for you as an artist as far as like a creative process, like kind of, once again, knowing that history and what it's doing, what it can do for music?
I don't know. You wanna answer that? Cause like it's kind of hard here because like we really don't have anybody in radio in position of power. So when we make all these dope original songs that people never hear 'em, if you put them out, because the radio don't want to play it. But if we mix the song Adele. We remix Hello. They play that shit every night, every morning. We drop that, but they won't play. They won't play none of our stuff, and that's one reason why I quit radio. I had the #1 show for 12, 13 years, but I quit because they wouldn't let me do. You know what I mean? I wanted to be Big G on the move. I don't want to sit in the little studio and it's cold all day. Got to put on a coat and a hat. They can't see me. I think I could do more for my community out. With just networking and being with more people because they need to see it. And I tell Chris that all the time. I tell Kay, like, we need to like network with more artists and put it out more and be like, hey, let's do this. What you think about this sound? Do you want to do this with this singer? Let this singer come in, let this rapper come in. Let's see if we can collab on this song and do that. But that was a good question too. I don't know if I touched all the way on it.
Only thing I would really say on that is that DC, we have our own music, and they deem go-go official.
It's official music of DC.
But if you notice, we don't have our own go-go radio station. PGC and 93.9, they give us 20. No, they don't even give us 20 minutes. They don't give us 30 no more.
They don't give us 30 no more.
They add the rap in the crank session. So it maybe be like 2 or 3 go-go band songs, like to where so they gave us 30 minutes. It just got shorter and shorter. First it was 30 minutes, and it was 20 minutes. Now
and then people got mad because I quit. But I didn't really quit, but it was just too much, man. You talk to the program director and they come from a different city, and I had these meetings with all these people and it'd be like this, okay, G, we're gonna try to make something. First thing they say, we're gonna try. We're not gonna do.
Yeah.
So that try is a hard word. Because if you're trying to make something happen, it's basically saying, it might not happen.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? I just used to get emotional about it. Then I'm still trying to chase my TV career, and I was doing this, and then it was like, gee, you need to move. I was sharing this, I just shared this with you. I just got dropped by my agency because I wouldn't move to Atlanta for film. And I said, I want to be right here, man. My mom just passed 2 Fridays ago.
Sorry to hear that, bro.
You know what I mean? So it's like, we just buried her Thursday, and I was like, maybe in my mind, maybe I can go now, because my mom was 80. She was be 81 August 31st. So I'm like, you know what I mean? I got my mom, I can't move nowhere. You know what I mean? I got my band, like, gee, that band gonna be there. Nah, that's my heart, baby, that's my love. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm gonna move and do what I gotta do, but like my city, I feel my city need me.
I was gonna say that, bro. Seriously, and by the way, just so you said, just sidebar, no bullshit, I literally just sent that cover to Adele because I was trying to get her here to do that shit.
Wow.
And
I kept asking, I'm
it's
like,
not gonna. Listen, it's not gonna happen.
That was crazy.
But I did get it to her. No bullshit.
But that's dope.
I did get it to her just to be like, listen, this would be amazing if you would come and do it. But she's not gonna do it.
Right.
But
you
I'm just telling
that you even said that. That's love.
You should just know, like, this city needs you. We need you. I'm not. Listen, Atlanta's a beautiful place.
I would have been gone.
But man, we need you, bro. And you should just know, even when you don't know about it, like the things that you have done and the things that you have inspired, like, are working out there unbeknownst to you.
Yeah.
Nah, and that's real to hear that from you, because like I always say, and don't I say that all the time? I say I feel I can't leave. I feel that
he ain't leave.
I can't. I get homesick, bro. I go and work a little bit, but I gotta come home. I told you that when we did Spotify. Yeah. Remember when we was talking with Puss? I said, man, I just feel, bro, that if I leave, I'm a sellout. I feel that I'm gonna leave my city like with their pants down. You know what I mean? Because it's like I done did all this work and my city like really got my back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they love me. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I love my city back, but I'm just like, I feel that all those other cities are already built up. You know what I'm saying? You Virginia Beach, everybody know, Ice Cube, everybody know Pharrell, the music, with your culture, but you go around the world. But it's like, okay, what can we do? And I'm right here, like, when I go speak on them panels, I always say all the bands, this city is so much. Like, I get homesick. I go and they be like, man, you just gotta get out of here. Master P told me. Marlon's told me. Marlon's told me and pissed me off. We was at a Wizard game. He said, put your head down, eyebrow lift, and get the out of here. He say, man, go. Master P say, man, maybe you need to move around a little bit, kid. And go, get out of here.
I ain't mad at moving around. You know,
Yeah,
you gotta
moving
do that.
around,
I
but
mean,
I
like
can't-
you said,
yeah.
I do the same thing. But
Right.
man, what you mean to this place and you know, this culture is super next level. And
Yeah.
again, it's an honor.
Definitely.
It's
Definitely.
a straight up honor, bro.
No,
We're
it's an
gonna
honor
do,
to be here. It's an honor
sorry,
to be
go
here.
ahead.
No, it's cool. It's an honor to be here with you guys.
I was gonna say we're gonna do one last question and then we're gonna wrap it up.
Good afternoon, guys. Hi, G. Hi, Kacey. Hi, Chris. I'm a native Washingtonian, and go-go, it lives in me. I'm a proud representative of the go-go community. And I wanted to touch on the definition of the pocket beat, just basically an alternative definition. And I would say it's the closest thing to church. When you think of the fundamental sound to gospel music, from its deep roots to what it sounds like today, it is very closely related to the fundamental sound of gospel music. So when you go to a go-go, it's very, for me especially, it's a very spiritual kind of experience. That's why you have to go. You can't just listen to it through the radio or through a CD or streams or anything like that. You have to go. It's almost like going to church and catching the Holy Ghost. What we experience in the go-go is you cannot explain it, and it starts very much with the pocket beat, and it has everything to do with spirituality. So if anybody asks you, well, how do you describe the pocket beat? It's the soul of go-go music. Without the pocket beat, go-go does not exist.
Yeah.
And most of the drummers play in church.
All the
drummers play in church.
the go-go bands play in church.
All of the drummers play in
Most of
church.
them.
All of them.
Most of
On
them.
Sunday, I'm not missing my Sunday service.
Yeah,
Y'all.
yeah.
That's why I get stuff tonight.
And that's a big piece
get
that
it.
you
I
said
get
too,
it.
but like, we gotta end up. Like a lot of people, like we have a lot of shootings in our city. And when we have these people that's like our people that die, a lot of people rejoice and they come to the club and we hit those songs, the Unabomber and all that for, it's rejoicing, but like with, a lot of people don't really know how to grieve. They come to see
release.
us and we play those songs and they say, put my man on, they wear the t-shirts and they come in.
Or they come with the cell phone.
And they come with a cell phone, and it's
Rest
like,
in peace.
this is how I grieve. I don't know no other way to grieve but to come to see the band and we shout out that person and rest in peace and they want us to do it all night.
Yeah.
All night long.
Yeah.
And that's another component that we do that no other genre of music does. You could be going through whatever you go through, but you could come and see even one of us. I don't know if y'all do that, do y'all, Kay?
Yeah.
Y'all do that part?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because it's like, it's like, we say, I always say, that piece where I say, I see visions of Popo, I see visions of sirens, I see visions of handcuffs, he coming up in my dreams, how would I live, would I die, I don't want to see the homicide. If I don't play that part in that, with that piece of that music in there, they piss. Yeah. Like, come on, G, you gonna say that piece and we go on with it. But it's like they come and rejoice on losing. And one block, what was it? A couple of Fridays when we played together, it was like they lost like in a month like 4 people.
Like 4 people, yeah.
From one neighborhood. And they came and rejoiced with us and they had the shirt. And I'm like, I just need to give the girl a hug. And she was like, and she cried on my shoulder. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
She just lost her cousin, her nephew, and her friend, her girlfriend, boyfriend. So it's like, our music saves lives as well. Cause like my music saved my life. I lost so many different friends with me just at my show in Norfolk, Virginia. And A&T, I'm in at a show and I come back, I got two homies that got smoked. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Spiritual.
Spiritual, definitely is.
Spiritual.
Yeah. That was good though. It's
Yeah.
church.
Thanks. I know how to explain it now.
Well,
Got it.
this has been
You got
amazing.
it, P.
Thank you guys so much.
Appreciate y'all.
Man,
for
thank you
having
so
us,
much.
man.
This is so beautiful.
Blessing right here.
And can I say one more thing before we go? I want everybody to give Pharrell and the whole family a round of applause for bringing this beautiful festival to our city.
Thank you.
And showcasing
And
putting go-go, because he could have came in here and then put no go-go on.
Yeah.
I respect that.
But
I swear.
for real, he been saying it, been saying it since for a minute, even invited us down to his city to do it. And it's like, man, it's hard to get people just to be as real as him. You know what I mean? And it's like, you gotta take it and run with it. That's why I always tell Chris, never a lazy moment, man. But half of the time I don't even sleep. And then since I lost my mom, I've been up and I've been putting plans together. Like, I gotta have her like looking over me saying, go boy, go. You know what I mean? So I ain't never leaving my city, and then Pharrell just double stamped and said, hey, you better stay right here. So I'm gonna stay right here, but I'm gonna be making
Making
chess
moves.
moves for us, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's love.
Love.